of an Ottoman Turkish home that's been turned into an entrance hall for the water system. Looking here at a photograph, aerial photograph, and a fanciful drawing. On the photograph down below, right here, all the way. Perfect. On the photograph down below, we have the city of David. You can see here the Kidron Valley, the Central Valley like so. The way the city shapes downward, rises up to the Temple Mount area. Yes? What we're talking about is this part of the city today, the city of David. On this map it is here. Separately walled. You can easily see the Kidron in the Central Valley, the lower part of the Tun, the rise that comes up to the area where the temple was built, the Central Valley, and the higher western hill, which eventually are walled. Yes? You can see that nicely. The dominant shape on the drawing are two. The area of David's palace. The shape and the size here are totally imaginary. We haven't found any of this, other than a few foundation stones. You can see, however, this retaining wall, I pointed that one out to you, that supports it. Otherwise, a lot of erosion. The city tends to tumble downward into the valley. And then the connected part, where the temple is, this one is not by imagination. We have instructions here, the blueprints in the book of 1 Kings as to what it looked like. Both the shape and the size and the building material described in 1 Kings. The temple and then the other government buildings, those are in that paragraph that perhaps you can read there in your blue book, the names of some of the other governmental buildings. If you want, back home, think about this as, the White House, the Capitol building, and all the other buildings in between on the mall. It's sort of that idea, where you have this government district in the city. Now the problem is, of course, you've got a tightly walled city, narrow and high, for protection. The wall is not on the scarp line, but slightly down. The water comes out much further down below. So what do you do about it? In Ammon, the Ammonites had a similar problem, where the city was walled, the royal city. They also had a temple city next to it. And they had a city of waters about a mile away. In their case, the spring was about a mile away. That's all of them were separately walled. Here, the spring is actually quite close. It's just down slope. It too is separately walled with a tower for protection and then walls running back up. So you could enter like so and come back under the protection of the walls around you. The water then was channeled in the time of Abraham to come and irrigate. And what Hezekiah did was to build another channel that went inward, underground, and ended up at a pool that he built down here to carry the water under the city to a pool slightly lower so the water could flow. And you then had a reservoir of water inside the city. Right? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So the initial one was like so, go and get it. Hezekiah actually brought the water into the city. That's a biblical term. He brought the water into the city. So when the Assyrians came, they wouldn't find any? Smart guy. Let's go down.